Just by looking at this tattoo, you might not think anything of it. I mean, it's a well done, very detailed, very big portrait of 3 apes. Seems like it might just be a normal tattoo. That is very wrong, because this tattoo is actually diabolically offensive. And I'm going to explain exactly why that is today. So let's dive in, because you will not believe what this mother-in-law got tattooed.
This tattoo must be pretty bad, but I can't even imagine, like, what is it, right?
Girl, the tattoo is insane.
Because apparently she's getting a divorce too, but I promise you that lady would never see those kids again.
You cannot make this stuff up. She got a whole sleeve.
Every time I open up this app, I just come across the craziest stories.
This is Tasha. Tasha goes by tish.monster on TikTok, and she usually posts lifestyle content with her family. Tasha is married to a man named James, and they currently have 3 children together, which I'm sure is already enough work on its own. For the last couple of weeks, Tasha's posts have been alluding to the fact that she's really upset and that she's really angry about something in her life. And that culminated with this TikTok where she is crashing out.
Sometimes you gotta crash the out to feel better, because you know what? I am pregnant, so I can't do the things I would normally do to cope. And I might post some here about my real life that might be shocking to some of you, because I have been living it, and I've been like, what have I been doing for so long? What have I been doing for so long? Losing my internally. That's what I've been doing for so long. And I'm finally kind of just breaking free of all that. And so this is going to be a big journey.
Clearly, Tasha is really upset, but we still don't really know why. And eventually, through TikTok comments as well as Instagram posts, it is revealed that Tasha's mother-in-law went to a tattoo studio, went and got this entire tattoo, came home and told Tasha that this tattoo represents Tasha's 3 children. So the mother-in-law's grandchildren. Now it is relevant that I bring up these people's races. So Tasha is a Black woman. Her husband, James, is half Black and half white. And his mom, the mother-in-law, is a white woman. This white mother-in-law thought it was appropriate to depict her Black grandchildren as apes on her arm permanently for the rest of her life.
Do you know how racist you have to be to go out and intentionally get a tattoo of 3 baby apes to represent your 3 mixed grandchildren?
Her grandkids are, well, technically they're biracial, but they are Black. They are Black kids. Black representing the mom Black, the dad Black. They said the dad is a little mix, but them Black kids. Why did you think to get 3 very darkly shaded monkeys tatted on you to represent your grandkids?
Not only is Tasha currently pregnant again with her 4th child, she also has to deal with this woman. In this video, Tasha goes on to explain multiple instances where she's seen the mother-in-law with the tattoo fully out for everyone to see. Some instances where the mother-in-law knows that Tasha will be there and still refuses to cover up this offensive tattoo.
When she first got that tattoo, I asked her to cover it up. And at first she told me no. And I said, cool, I just don't want to be around you. Didn't really say too much about it. The next day, she said, hey, I'll cover up around you. I'm so sorry. I was like, cool, I want to cover it up everywhere around me. Not just my home, everywhere. She said, cool. That's not what happened. I was trying to be civil for the kids, for my husband, trying my best to just deal, but nobody was taking it seriously enough.
I truly cannot imagine how Tasha is still holding it together at all after being disrespected by this woman time and time again. And Tasha goes on to explain that she hasn't been cruel to her. She hasn't threatened to never let her see the grandchildren ever again. Tasha is simply asking to just not see the tattoo when she's around. And this is how the mother-in-law acted when she herself invited Tasha and the kids over.
I didn't know she was going to cover up in her own home, and I was not going to demand it, but I was going to drop off my kids and just leave if she was uncovered. I wasn't going to say nothing. And so I freaking bring one baby in, and she's uncovered. And I turn around to get the other baby. And I'd say to myself, if she's still uncovered by the time I walk back in here with this other baby, because we have twins, if I walk back in here with this other baby and she is not covered up, I am going to leave. So I turn back around, bring the other baby in. She's coming out of her room from putting the sleeve on. Great. I shut the fuck up. I don't say anything. I go on about my business. Mind you, it's just mind blowing that you wait until the last second for me to get there when you invited us over and you know how I feel, but whatever. And I just lost it, man. I just lost it.
Tasha truly is so willing to be accommodating to these people who absolutely do not deserve her kindness. And it just really sucks that she's not being treated with the same respect.
This lady might be a little racist. You know what I'm saying? Like, either she's racist or she's a little ignorant and doesn't really know that that's offensive, or she knows and she doesn't really care. And neither one of those scenarios is good, right?
Those be the same people that say, we don't see color. We don't see color around these parts, baby. We just see love is love. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I bet. I surely do bet.
And it is bizarre that you invite someone to your house knowing that they're uncomfortable with a racist visible image, and you still wait until that person has come into your home, seen the racist image, to then even complain about having to put on a sleeve. I would also absolutely lose it. And people in the comments are shocked that all Tasha's asking is the mother-in-law to just cover up. Covering up her tattoo does not change the fact that she sees her own grandchildren as apes. Those children should never be around her. And why the F has your husband not stood up for his children? Great point by Debbie and the dogs, because where is the husband? Girl, get your babies away from those people. I'm so sorry. Covering it up doesn't change what she thinks of her grandchildren. Very true. Very true. A lot more commenters are asking about the husband because this is his mom. This is how his mom is treating his wife and children. If your husband isn't standing up for his children and wife, he is complicit in the racism 100%. I 1000% blame your husband. He should have been the one to set that boundary with his mom and set ultimatums and never put you in that position. In-law relationships can be difficult to navigate. I feel like that's what every other Am I the Asshole Reddit post is about. But I do believe that it's the partner's responsibility, whose parent it is, that's creating this problem, to fix the problem. Because it's a problem. If your wife has a problem and you're married to her, you have a problem. Not only did Tasha's husband not take charge of the situation at all, he actually barely did anything. And Tasha's been considering divorce even prior to this whole tattoo situation. And how he's reacted to this is just the final straw.
Yes, I am pregnant and I will be getting a divorce. This tattoo is not the reason. It's not the main reason why we're getting a divorce. There's been a lot of things before the tattoo even happened. And now that happened, it's just like, he didn't like it either. He didn't like it either, but I didn't feel like he was 10 toes down behind me and my boundaries about it. So yeah, I kind of, too sober for this, lost my crashed out a little bit, posted that crazy tattoo for the internet. I just felt like I was pushed. I had no other choice. I was literally, I thought I was going to literally lose my mind.
It's really, really unfortunate that Tasha doesn't have that support that she should be getting from her partner, who she's already given birth to 3 of his children and now is pregnant with another one of his children.
Your husband don't give a fuck about your feelings. To invalidate your wife's concerns shows that he has zero or he gives zero about you. And it shows that he'll cater to his mother's than to care about his wife's feelings.
And Tasha repeatedly says in her videos that she's crashing out and that she's been pushed to her absolute limit, and that's why she just had to do this and post the tattoo. And a lot of commenters are pushing back on the whole crash out thing and instead just saying, like, you're actually just reacting to the most insane situation of all time. Now hold on a minute. She had no shame when she got that tattoo designed. She had no shame when she got it permanently on her body. And she has no shame wearing it proudly out and about the general public and her family. That part. And you posting it was a crash out. She's clearly proud of it and wants the world to see it and see how she views her grandkids. So I see nothing wrong with helping her spread it around. Because why else would the mother-in-law be so resistant to cover it up? It seems like she really does view her grandchildren like that. Ollie says that wasn't a crash out, that was 100% a valid reaction. An appropriate crash out may have been if Tasha burned the whole town down. And even if she did that, I don't know that it'd be enough.
Y'all gonna see me on Fox News, actually. That's how bad my crash out would be. There would be no me documenting it and y'all telling me, leave that man, leave that family. I know I would wake up in a new dimension known as maximum security prison. Absolutely.
And before I move on, I want to clear something up with this video. So you'll see in the search here that it says the rising sun tattoo. And this is actually the top comment on this video. Quote, "It's just a tattoo. How bad can it be that it needs to be covered up at all times?" Clearly that person is just being dramatic. It was a Japanese rising sun tattoo. I redact my last statement and I regret my words. That has 11,000 upvotes. So 11,000 people did not understand what this TikTok was about. So this seems to be some sort of misconception that was picked up by the algorithm. This video has absolutely nothing to do with a Japanese rising sun tattoo. But if you were ever considering getting a rising sun tattoo, now you know that it is actually an offensive symbol and it's representative of Japanese imperialism. It's similar to how Americans might contextualize the Confederate flag. But like I said, this is not the offensive tattoo that we're dealing with. This is the offensive tattoo that we're dealing with. I thought I would just clear that up. As I'm recording this, it hasn't even been a week since Tasha initially posted her videos crashing out. But Tasha's videos are already going crazy viral. People just absolutely cannot believe the audacity of the mother-in-law once they see the tattoo and see the explanation behind it. And honestly, I'm glad that Tasha is coming forward with this situation and her experience because she's been made to feel like she's absolutely crazy for having a problem with the tattoo this entire time. In a way, the internet is now becoming the support that she should have been getting from the very beginning.
First things first, I just want to say that I am floored by the amount of support that I've been receiving about this and just making me feel validated that I'm not crazy. Thank y'all so much for validating that I am not crazy.
And later on in this video, Tasha explains that there's a lot more nuance and a lot more details about her marriage that she simply can't share right now. So I'll look out for updates on that. But you might be wondering, how could this mother-in-law possibly justify representing her grandchildren like this? Apparently, the reason is that when Tasha's young children would play, the adults would joke around that they're like little monkeys. And this can be a pretty common thing to say to babies. I have a twin brother, and we would climb around on furniture and jump around, and our parents would joke and say that it was like monkey time. Tasha's mother-in-law said, if you were okay with us calling the kids that, how could you possibly have an issue with this tattoo? The thing is that there's a huge difference between attributing characteristics of what a kid might be doing, so hanging or playing around. That's a lot different than saying that your children are apes and this is their representation. Representing them this way is absolutely not okay.
Nobody's talking about the fact that that woman said that them people have been calling her babies monkeys since they've been born. She quite literally said, the phrase, oh, look at that cute little monkey may be common, but she never said anything to them because she didn't want to look like the woke black woman and that she's being too sensitive. She never addressed it in the past. That's why those people are so confused about why she's tripping about the tattoo. They have been calling them babies monkeys since they've been born and ain't nobody said nothing.
Depicting children, especially black children, as anything other than human beings is dehumanizing, and it is an act of hatred towards who they are at their core. It's unfortunately not long ago that segregation was alive and well in this country, and not long before that slavery was alive and well in this country. Something feels really, really icky to me that she put this depiction of her grandchildren as less than human on her white skin. Like, she put it directly onto her privilege. And it feels very manipulative. It feels like control. It feels like ownership in a really, really disgusting way. And then to show off the tattoo time and time again after being asked to cover it up by the mother of the children that you depicted as less than human on your body. And many commenters are wondering why a tattoo artist would possibly take on this project. Turns out the tattoo artist didn't know at all, and the mother-in-law may have even lied about what she wanted.
Hey y'all, so someone found the artist for me and I was able to reach out to him and ask him a few questions. The artist had absolutely no idea that this was happening. He was genuinely shocked. He did this tattoo 4 months ago for her, and all she had told him was that it was for her grandkids. He said, he doesn't get involved in, asking clients too many questions. I asked him if she showed him a picture of us. He said no. He's genuinely shocked. I do not want any hate to go to this poor man. He's just a dude, and I don't want that poor man affected from my mother-in-law's horrible racist decision.
I'm glad Tasha was able to speak with the artist and clear that up, because clearly if they had no idea, obviously they can't be at fault. But if I was the artist, I could not imagine getting that message 4 months after you completed this really well done tattoo. Clearly this guy put a lot of effort into making this really nice, and he had no idea what he was actually putting on. And that's the thing with this tattoo, it's big. It's big. Usually a lot of planning goes into tattoos that are this big. So either she just kept everything a secret, or she just got it on a whim. Either are, bad options. She shouldn't have gotten it at all. The tattoo itself is stunning. It would have been perfect for Jane Goodall, or a dedicated zookeeper. Any other context is inappropriate. I also thought about Jane Goodall when I saw this tattoo and thought it would be great for Jane Goodall, not for this mother-in-law. The fact that she didn't show him a picture makes me think she knew what everyone would think and probably wouldn't do the tattoo for her if they knew. The fact that she lied to the artist shows she knew it was wrong from the very beginning. I think that's a good point. The mother-in-law never showed the artist actual photos of the children. Instead, she just said that the apes were for her grandchildren, which is very different and incredibly misleading. And truly, if you did want a portrait of your grandchild, would you not want to show the artist what your grandchild looks like? I think a part of her did know how hideously offensive this is and was for her to do. Laser tattoo removal would be the only apology that would be acceptable that I still wouldn't accept. Same. I think the mother-in-law should have to get laser tattoo removal. This is like a sentencing. I think she should have to get laser tattoo removal and go through that process. I don't doubt that this mother-in-law, in a strange way, loves her family and loves her grandchildren. The problem is the willful ignorance and disrespect. As a white woman who has grown up in this country with the same resources as everybody else, to do something like this that is so ignorant, it is your fault. Because you, as a grown woman, should know better. Especially when you are a part of a mixed race family and these are your grandchildren. And to say she's ignorant is almost like giving her the benefit of the doubt. Because this could be a lot more sinister. We don't know this woman. We are assuming that she's just willfully ignorant and not diabolically evil. Which she very well might be. I don't know anyone else that would do something like that. Obviously, this whole situation has upset a lot of people. Many people are very outraged about this, and rightfully so.
Before getting that tattoo done, she had already called these babies monkeys. That should have been the last time she saw those kids.
Why are you referring to, that back in the day, they used to call black people that animal right there.
She's got something loose up here. If she can't see how that's not okay, how can I trust her with my children? How can I trust you out and about with my children to make good decisions for them as brown children, melanated children in this country?
That last clip was actually someone that I know. If you're ever in LA, definitely check out Flo's studio. Everyone there is incredible at what they do. Anyway, I am really glad that the internet collectively has realized that this is a really, really serious situation. And what happened here is absolutely not okay. Tasha talks about how her family would say that she's so woke or she's too woke and that she should just get over it, which is absolutely, absolutely invalidating. And I can see why Tasha felt so crazy. Imagine being pregnant with your 4th baby and all the people around you are acting like this about your other 3 babies. And earlier, Tasha even mentioned that she mainly gets the kids ready for everywhere they have to go. So it might be that Tasha's just on her own here. And that's why I am glad that she had access to so many people to share her story with and to get support from, because that's what Tasha needs. That's what she should have got from the very beginning. Getting the tattoo done was an absolutely outrageous move, but then standing on it and continuing to show it is diabolical. The invalidation, the gaslighting, I feel like the situation is unfortunately indicative of a lot of racism that is still very, very prevalent in this country, and it can be so subtle and it can be so covert. And if you're someone like Tasha, everyone's trying to tell you that it's not that big of a deal. It is a big deal. And the fact that we get to talk about situations like this just educates more people on what's okay and what is absolutely, absolutely not okay. And what happened to Tasha is absolutely deplorable. And she does not deserve any of this, considering everything else she has going on. So I really hope that Tasha has a very smooth divorce proceeding. I'm glad that the whole internet is on her side. I'm glad that this horrible monster-in-law and her son are being exposed for just treating their people horribly and treating their family horribly, their own family. The betrayal of treating your own family that way is really, really sad. Like I said, I will keep up with Tasha. If you want to keep up with Tasha, this is Tasha's profile on TikTok and on Instagram. If there's any more updates, I will let you all know. But I would love to know what you all think about this entire situation. Tell me what you originally thought of the tattoo, and then once you found out what it was, how you felt. Let me know if you've ever heard of any similar situations to this, because this is really next level. I don't know. But if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you have, leave me this emoji in the comments so I know that you are a real one. Bye, everyone.